For this week's weekly narrative, I jotted down some notes, so I'll just be going over those briefly. I would like to start by stating that the power bases I will be working with is a mixture of both the positional as well as the personal um, power base. With me being Caesar's direct manager, as stated in the scenario, I already hold legitimate power in that position. And then since we have been discussing promotional opportunities, I also have a reward and informational kind of hold as well, since I'm most likely the person Caesar's coming to and expecting information about when openings are occurring in the company, as well as what he maybe need to do to get those positions. And then that's information. And then as for reward, I might be the person who's directly promoting him, or I'm at least the person that's probably recommending him to be promoted as a reward for his hard work. So those both tie into the positional power base. As for the personal power base, prompt kind of indicates that Caesar admires me. And this is an indicator of the power that stems from being kind of revered by someone. And this type of power stems from Caesar's likability of me. And that gives me influence over him that doesn't come from me trying to command and control him, but more because he likes me and he likes how I do things. Okay, so from there, I guess I would start by saying I would just pull Caesar into my office or off to the side to kind of address the issue. And maybe I'll start by asking him just how he is and how he feels like he's performing recently. Because honestly, this could be easier for me. This could allow an easier transition into the conversation for me. But let's say he doesn't know anything. He doesn't see anything wrong with his performance. He feels like it's business as usual. Then I would start by saying just that we've known each other for a while and we've been working together, and I respect and appreciate the work that he has done for the company in the past. Kind of pulling on that liking technique, and kind of saying like, hey, as a person that's we have this kind of camaraderie, kind of just allowing him to know that I should have his best interests at heart, and kind of helping him to lower his guard with what I'm about to present to him, like this critical feedback, right? Kind of appealing to the relationship that we have already established. So from there, I would kind of go on to say like that when it comes to your work that you've been doing lately, I have some concerns. And kind of appears that your most recent work has not been as optimal as your previous work. And here I will also kind of just provide concrete examples that highlight where I'm seeing the discrepancies. Because in the readings, it talked about how like oftentimes people don't know from just the critical feedback where they may be falling short. So making sure I'm like providing concrete and specific evidence, and maybe even going as far as to cross-analyze his current work to his previous work, so he can just really see and understand where I'm coming from. And maybe even go as far as to state that as someone who has been in his position before, because I kind of remember at the end of the lecture, you mentioned that part of the reason Caesar admired me was because I had worked my way up from my position or that position before. And so kind of putting on that likability again of, hey, like I know what hardships come with this position. I know what you may be going through in this position. So kind of like saying like I've been there before with you, right? But then going a step farther to say that because I've been there, I know what it takes to excel here, right? I've been promoted from there. And if that's what you want to do, like then I need your work not to be so subpar as it's been lately, right? So going as far as to include that authority technique of like, okay, I'm might be an expert in this field, seeing as how I've been here and excelled and been promoted, right? Next, I would kind of say like the level of work that has been delivered, that he's been delivering in the company is rare. He has a talent that not everyone else has. So that's just kind of, we're working that reverse scarcity thing of like, hey, like you have something nobody else has. And so that's why you were on my radar and why I even came to you, or you came to me, and we even discussed like the promotional aspect, because you have something else that other people don't have in the company, and you should probably like, run with that. It's a good look for you, right? And then I also would just kind of also highlight there that not only do I appreciate your commitment to the work, but the promotion we have been discussing is dependent on your consistency to perform at that level, right? So kind of tying in that consistency and commitment aspect that like, okay, if you want to get this promotion, you got to continuously work hard for it, right? You got to continuously perform at a certain level. And then lastly, I would just kind of include that like I usually have like scheduled hours where maybe I meet with the staff and talk things out with them. But for you can come see me anytime you have comments, concerns, anything you want to talk over. My door is always open for you. Feel free to come anytime with or without an appointment. Just to kind of have that reciprocal thing of where like I'm doing something for you. So now I expect something in return.